Good morning. I would like to show you some questions related to part 1 of the Indian Constitution. Let's see both the objective and descriptive type, including one essay type. Like it was a question that was asked in UPSC examination to write an essay. Of course, that is related to the part 1 of the Indian Constitution. That is the reason I was telling you the Indian Constitution concept is applicable for various areas. Maybe Indian polity, maybe essay writing, maybe social issues. Everywhere these concepts are very useful. Let me open the document and show it to you the questions. First we'll see few objective types, then we'll go to the subjective type of question. And we have given the title. This title you know already, the Union and its territory. Objective and subjective questions. Just read the question, please. You know all the points, all the questions you know. You will be in a position to answer. India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states, is mentioned under the article 1, article 22, article 36, or article 100. And we have understood during the discussion that it has been mentioned under article number 1 of the Indian Constitution. Am I clear? There is no point in discussing much more about this, because we have explained in a very detailed manner so during our sessions. And I would like to remind you one more thing. Whatever each and every point I told you during the discussions of this particular topic, I try to explain each and every word in a detailed manner. Why in article number 1 we have used both the words India and Bharat. Just remember and recollect all those points here. At the same time, I also told you, instead of using the word Federation of India, we have used the words Union of States. And I explained you the meaning. And knowing the meaning is important for writing a better answer. Hence, I would like you to remember this information. Next, I'll open the question. And we know that the answer is article number 1, that is A. India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states, is mentioned under article 1. Look at this. This question we already know. The names of the states and union territories are mentioned in. Can you answer this? Very easily. You can answer this. Is it first schedule, fourth schedule, or seventh schedule, or the eighth schedule? Here the answer is first schedule. So this is what I was telling you in the previous class, saying that in the first schedule of the original constitution, the states and union territories of India, they were divided into 4 categories: part A, part B, part C, and part D. And we have also seen the number 9, 9, 10, and 1. So over a period of time, through the 7th amendment, the distinction between part A, B, C, D has been removed, and all the states have been clubbed together. Some states have been abolished, and some states have been merged into other areas. And finally, by November 1st, 1956, we have created 14 states and 6 union territories. So in the original first schedule of the Indian Constitution, they were divided into part A, B, C, D states, and by November 1st, 1956, the number became 14 states and 6 union territories, and the distinction between A, B, C, D states have been abolished. And as of today, if I look at the today's constitution, we have 29 states and 7 union territories. Am I clear? So meaning the first schedule contains the names of all the states and the union territories in an alphabetical manner. Okay. And let me also tell you one more point. Schedules will also play a very crucial role for our examination point of view. Just like they have asked us in the examination, what is the content of the first schedule? Regarding any schedule, there may be a question in the examination. Maybe schedule number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or up to 12. And we know in the original constitution, there were only 8 schedules. But over a period of time, 4 more schedules have been added. Through the first amendment, we have added schedule number 9. Through 52nd amendment, we have added schedule 10. Through 73rd amendment, we have added schedule 11. Through 74th amendment, we have added schedule 12 of the Indian Constitution. So slowly we'll try to learn what are the contents in this each schedule. But now we have understood in schedule number 1, we have the list of all the names of all the states and union territories. That is number 1. Number 2, in our options, we also have the 4th schedule. 4th schedule talks about the allocation of the seats to the states in the Rajya Sabha. What do you mean by this? In our previous class discussions, we understood that the population of each state will vary from state to state. Depending on the population, there is an allocation of the seats in the Lok Sabha. There is an allocation of the seats in the assemblies. In the similar manner, the seats are also allocated in the Rajya Sabha. For each state, how many seats have been allocated in the Rajya Sabha is mentioned under Schedule 4 of the Indian Constitution. Similarly, when we come to schedule number 7, we have already seen that this schedule talks about the lists. There are 3 lists mentioned: central list, state list, and concurrent list. And this particular schedule talks about the federal concept of Indian Constitution. Meaning it is nothing but the division of the powers between central government and the state governments. And similarly, if you come to schedule number 8, this also we have discussed. Schedule 8 lists out the official languages. The official languages that are mentioned in the schedule number 8. Originally, the number was 14. Over a period of time, it has been increased to 18. As of today, 22 languages are mentioned in the 8th schedule. Like this, you need to remember the content of each schedule. Okay. So for this question, the answer is first schedule. Again, I am going back to the document. Kindly have a look at this. Look at this. The names of the states and union territories are mentioned in first schedule. So for this question, option A is the answer. Next one. This already we have discussed. Look at this. Who of the following is empowered to admit new states into the Union of India? This is with respect to article number 2. Article number 2 empowers the parliament either to admit the new states or to establish the new states into the Union of India. If you look at ABCD, the president, the cabinet, the prime minister, the parliament. So your option D is the answer. Answer should be the parliament. This is what we have given here, D. Okay. Similarly, look at another question we have. Who of the following is empowered to create new states? The president, the cabinet, the prime minister, and the parliament. It is similar type of question, but the difference is only one. Admission is mentioned in Article number 2 of the Indian Constitution. But now we are talking in terms of the formation of the new states. Formation is mentioned in under Article 3 of the Indian Constitution. But the power with respect to Article 2 or 3 has been given to the Parliament. Hence, D is the answer. Even in this case also, the Parliament is empowered to create the new states. Option D is the answer. Kindly remember all the points. Look at this. So it was a question that was asked in UPSC examination sometime back. If a new state of Indian Union is to be created, which one of the following schedules of the Constitution must be amended? Answer is first, second, third, or fourth schedules. So you know the answer now. It is the first schedule which should be amended. But kindly remember, this amendment is not an amendment of the Constitution under Article number 368. Kindly recollect all the points what I spoke to you in the previous classes. So here the option A is the answer. It is the first schedule that will be amended. Look at this. Another question was also asked in the UPSC examination. Which one of the following statements correctly describes the fourth schedule of the Constitution of India? Again, it was a question in the UPSC examination. Just now I told you what is the content in the fourth schedule. Look at this ABCD. I'm reading it out. Kindly follow me very carefully. It lists the distribution of power between the union and states. Absolutely no, because this distribution of the powers is a part of this schedule 7, not schedule 4. B, it contains the languages listed in the Constitution. No, this is the subject matter of schedule 8 and not schedule 4. C, it contains the provisions regarding the administration of tribal areas. Absolutely no, this is the content that is mentioned in the 6th schedule. So obviously answer should be D. Look at this. It allocates the seats in the Council of States. Yes, that is the answer. That is the reason once you open the 4th schedule of the Indian Constitution, we'll come to know how many seats have been allocated to each state. Okay, kindly remember. Option D is the answer. Look at this next one. It was also a question in the previous examination. Look at this. Consider the following statements. 1, 2, 3 are given, and we are asked to pick up the which of the statements given above is or correct. Either one statement is correct, or only 2 statements are correct, or all the statements are correct. You can answer this. Kindly read ABC. Number 1, the Constitution of India has 22 parts. Is it right? Never in the Constitution there were only 20 parts. In the original Constitution we had 22 parts. Now the number has been increased to 25. Hence option 1 is wrong. Okay, just remove it. Now if you go to question number 2, the alternative number 2, there are 390 articles in the Constitution of India in all. It is wrong. The number is 395. Hence option 1 and 2 are wrong here. If you look at number 3, the 9th schedule, 10th schedule, 11th schedule and 12th schedules were added to the Constitution of India by Constitution Amendment Acts. Definitely you will agree with me, because we know that in the original constitution there were only 8 schedules. Now the number is 12, and in the beginning of the class itself I told you ninth, 10th, 11th and 12th schedules have been added to the constitution through various constitutional amendment acts. I told you it was the first amendment, 52nd amendment, 73rd amendment and 74th amendments respectively. Through this we have added 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th schedules. So option C is the answer. If you look at C, only the statement number 3 is correct, meaning 1 and 2 are wrong. Only the third statement is correct. Hence, my answer should be option C. Look at this. So this is the answer C here. Now, so like this, these questions will be asked in the examination. And you look at this. We have a question from here again in the UPSC. Which one of the following is the correct chronological order of the formation of the following as full states of the Union of India? See, here I told you already, anything may be a question. Anything may be a question. But if you look at this one, how to remember this order? Definitely, it's really a difficult task. But all are the states which were created over a period of time. But now the question is related to, so what is the correct chronological order in the formation of these areas into the full-fledged states into the Union of India? You can look at this, same names are given here: Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland and Haryana. So meaning these types of questions are prompting us to read each and every point very thoroughly and very carefully. If you don't know the sequence, basically what will happen, there is every possibility of losing a mark. Unlike old pattern of the examination of the UPSC, now UPSC is going for the negative marking if the answer is going wrong. That's the reason before attempting these types of questions, it is always better to make it doubly sure that we know the chronology correctly. And today, in today's examination pattern, because of any reason, if you put any wrong answer to any question, that is leading to negative marking. Meaning the examination has become more risky than the previous examinations. That is the reason, though question looks simple, you have to be very careful and you need to pay a lot of attention as far as the giving the answer is concerned. Okay, so especially that is the reason why when we have 14 states, now we have the 29 states. But how to remember this order here? It is really difficult to task, I know that. But UPSC is asking, hence similar type of question may also be asked in the future. Hence, while going through the notes what we have with us, I have given you the sequence of the states that have been formed. And while you are reading, try to remember the sequence also. Don't put any pressure on the brain to remember them in a sequence. Just go through them very frequently. So over a period of time, you will be in a position to remember all of them. But in the examination, if this is a question, be very careful, be very sure. Only when you are 100% confident, go for it. Otherwise, my suggestion is that leave it. If you leave it, what will happen? You are not going to lose the mark. But in the examination today, UPSC, don't take any risk. Because of one wrong answer, you may lose some marks, and that particular mark may be forcing us to leave the examination. That's the reason why you have to be very, very careful. Hence, in this type of examinations, Each and every step is very, 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 very important. It is just a caution I am giving it to you. Please be very careful and follow my instructions. Now, let me open the document. Yeah, so we are with this particular one. If you look at this, option B is the answer, meaning this is the correct sequence. It was Nagaland, followed by Haryana, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh. Just remember this, okay? And for the sequence starting from the 15th state up to the 29th state, kindly go to our notes and refer the notes. Hopefully you can answer this question very easily. Similar type of question, I have framed it. If you look at the previous question, it was asked in the UPSC, okay, sometime back. So now maybe in future, there is a possibility that UPSC may also ask the similar type of question. Like, which one of the following is the correct chronological order of the formation of the following as the full states of the Union of India? If you look at all the names here, Telangana, Jharkhand, Uttaranchal, and Chhattisgarh. One thing we need to be very clear and careful, Telangana is the latest state that was created so far. Telangana is the 29th state. So obviously in the chronology, Telangana should be coming at the end. Now, instead of going through A, B, C, D, because we have the basic knowledge that Telangana is the latest state, so Telangana should be given at the end. If you look at A, B, C, D, Telangana is given at the end in option C and option D. Hence, our answer should be either C or D. Once you are very, very sure with this, you need not read option A and option B. Just forget about this. Meaning, we have reduced our burden by 50%. Provided we should have the fundamental knowledge that Telangana is the 29th state. Once we are clear, straight away you are going to C and D. So from here, you can begin the search. And if you look at this remaining states, with Jharkhand, Uttaranchal, and Chhattisgarh, these were the states that were created in the year 2000. And all the states were created simultaneously. All the three states came into existence one after the other. Hence, you are expected to remember the sequence of the Uttaranchal, Chhattisgarh, and Jharkhand. And if you look at this C and D, one thing is very sure, Telangana is the latest state. Hence, C or D should be the answer. We reduce our burden by 50%. So meaning we have reduced our options. We have only two. From here, you need to pick up one because we are very, very sure that one of these two is the answers. And we need to remember the sequence here by saying that this is Chhattisgarh, Uttaranchal, and Jharkhand. Kindly see here, I am using the word Uttaranchal. When it was created, the name was Uttaranchal. Now the name has been changed. Now it is called Uttarakhand. I told you already. Just remember this. So this is Chhattisgarh, Uttaranchal, and Jharkhand. They were created simultaneously. And this is the sequence. On November 1st, 2000, Chhattisgarh came into force. On November 9th, 2000, Uttaranchal came into force. And on November 15th, 2000, Jharkhand came into existence. Meaning Chhattisgarh, Uttaranchal, and Jharkhand, this is the correct sequence. But otherwise, all the three states have been created simultaneously. Each one came into existence one after the other. And after a gap of 14 years, after the creation of the three new states, we created another state very recently in the year 2014, which came into existence on June 2nd, 2014. And that new state is the Telangana. Hence, if you remember, Chhattisgarh, Uttaranchal, and Jharkhand, the sequence, so it becomes easy for the process of the elimination. Meaning is simple. In the examination, kindly look for such a way where you are not just picking up the answer. That's the ultimate thing you need to do. You have to pick up the answer. But at the same time, by using our knowledge, by using our intelligence, we should also be in a position to eliminate the wrong answers. Elimination is also not at all easy. Kindly remember, that also requires a solid ground of the knowledge. That's the reason, kindly remember, knowledge is power. Without the knowledge, attaining the power is really a difficult task. Without knowledge, clearing the examination, becoming an IAS is really a difficult task. Hence, once we are strong with these basic points, it becomes easy for us to crack the examination. Am I clear? Now, let me open the document and let me show it to you. Now look at this. So Chhattisgarh, Uttaranchal, Jharkhand, and followed by Telangana, which is the latest one. So option C should be the answer for us. Am I clear? This is how you need to go for the answers. Now, look at this. The smaller states can be formed for better administration. Now look at this. I gave you one question which is related to the so-called descriptive type of question. And I request all of you who are preparing very seriously for the examination this year or next year, whenever you are writing, let us try to be serious from day one itself. That's what I was telling you. And in the previous classes also, I gave you some questions and the response was really tremendous. You people have started writing. So meaning, so that shows the progress. I am talking to only those people who have given me the answers. Some people have not given. That's okay. That all depends on you. Whenever you have the time or something, if you can write it, I'll be so happy. But when it comes to the people who have already written, you started progressing. That's a point. Meaning you started moving towards achieving your goal, that is called IAS. And for that reason, you need to have the schedule and you need to follow that schedules. And I'm very happy. Most of the answers, rather everybody who attempted this one, you tried in a fantastic manner. It's a good attempt, rather. And almost for each and every answer I gave you I reply saying that it's a good beginning. There is necessary to improve at certain places. I mentioned it. And whatever the suggestions that are given by me, kindly follow those suggestions. If I have given any suggestion with respect to any part of your previous answer, see that mistake should not be repeated in the forthcoming answers. Am I clear? Kindly follow this one. Very, very important. And also take it for granted the people who have not written the answers. Take it for granted, without writing the answers, getting into the service is not possible. Take it for granted. That's up to you. You can decide it. Okay. Now again, I'll show it to you, the question, and we'll try to have a discussion how to write the answer for this. Look at this. Look at this. The smaller states can be formed for better administration, and we are asked to discuss. Look at this. Today itself, I want you to write, but before you write, first you think, then start writing. Now, this question is asking, look at this. We know what are all these points. The smaller states can be formed for better administration. So this is the statement that is given, and we are asked to discuss what exactly is this. I'll tell you what is the meaning of the discuss. But kindly see here, you please understand this particular whole concept here. How the smaller states can be created, or how the new states can be created, we know all the procedures that are mentioned in the Constitution of India. According to the provisions of Article number 3, the whole procedure is happening. We know this. The question is not how you are forming the new states. The question is that when you are forming the new states, rather the smaller states, this is basically useful for the better administration. Meaning we are bringing the concept of administration into the picture, not just formation. Why are you forming this? Is it for the better administration? Yes, if the area is smaller, the one assumption is that administration can be a better. Is that okay? So now you need to go for discussion on this particular argument, not just on how the states are formed, but we need to concentrate on they are formed for better administration. That is the crux of the question. Once you understand the essence of this question, then we can go for the answer. Look at this. When you look at the word discuss, hope you are following. Each and every word of mine is important. Kindly remember. This question is asking students to argue for and against and reach a logical conclusion. Meaning, we are saying a statement that smaller states can be formed for better administration. And the students are asked to argue for. You need to go for the discussion. You need to argue. What is that you are arguing? You are arguing in favor of the statement. You should also argue against this statement. Am I clear? You need to argue for. You need to argue against this statement, and you are expected to reach a logical conclusion. Conclusion can be drawn by you. You can draw your own conclusion at the end of the answer. That's a good thing. But just don't go by the statement. You need to talk for the statement. You need to talk against the statement. That is the meaning of the discussion. That is the meaning of the word discuss. And at the end, you need to give a logical conclusion. You may argue it is better for the formation of the smaller states for so and so reasons. You may also come to a conclusion. You may also argue in favor of the, what are the arguments against this statement. But at the end of the answer, you need to come to a conclusion. That is called a logical conclusion. That is the meaning of the word discuss. Okay, now let me open the document. Now look at this. And you are also required to show the evidence to your arguments. What do you mean by this evidence to the arguments? We have already formed some smaller states. Some smaller states, they had a better administration. Some smaller states, they did not have better administration. When you are arguing for smaller states for better administration, you show the example of that state. Meaning knowing the background of the states is also important, which have been created later and which are considered to be the smaller states. Am I clear? Take that example, take that state, mention that as an example. In this particular state, the administration is good, and that is the evidence. You take some other state and mention that in this state, though it has been created later for better administration, but the administration is not good. You need to mention it. In the absence of the evidences, the answer is not complete. So this is the essence of the examination. In fact, some people will always tell me, sir, we have written a better answer, but we did not get the good marks. The point is not that. What is the knowledge that is present here? It is not important. Understand the question. What exactly they are asking. Only for that question, you are expected to write the answer. Because of any reason, if there is a deviation from the answer, obviously the marks will be lowered. That's the reason why having the knowledge is one part, one side of the coin. But when it comes to the getting into the service, practice is important. And this practice with understanding, if you go ahead within a short period of time, you will become comfortable and you will start writing better answers. Okay, now I request to all of you who are present with me this morning, you please give a serious attempt. Don't be negligent. Take the question, understand the question, recollect all the points what I have told you, recollect certain things. If you want to search for the information anywhere, you may search. Where the administration is good, why it is good. Where the administration is not so good, why it is not so good. Finally, mix both of them and draw your own conclusion at the end of the answer, and that conclusion should be a logical conclusion. Hope you are following this. This is what I am expecting from you today itself. And if you can write an answer today, the preparation on this particular part will be over for you. Am I clear? I am taking enough time as far as the Indian Constitution is concerned because of various reasons. It is number one. It's very large subject, and so many areas are related to Indian Constitution with respect to our examination. I told you in the beginning itself, more than 50% of the whole syllabus of the civil services becomes easy once you thoroughly understand the concepts in the Constitution. Without that, you may be understanding, but our understanding with relation to other topics will be delayed for longer period of time. I don't want you to wait for longer period. We have an opportunity on this particular platform. Learn quickly, practice quickly, and get into the service very quickly. That is what my aim is. That kindly don't waste years together. So many people are wasting this because of the lack of proper guidance to them. It is not the mistake of the students, but it is a lack of proper guidance. So here, kindly make use of the opportunity that is available. Kindly work for a long number of hours and kindly stick to the schedule, finish up your homework, then the success will be yours. That's it. Okay, now, so hopefully you'll be writing the answer today itself. Now let me show you one more thing what I have with me. Look at this. Look at this. It was an essay question that was asked in the UPSC examination in the year 2011. Look at the question, please. Creation of smaller states and the consequent administrative, economic, and development implications. So this is the statement that is given. Now we need to elaborate on this one. Creation of smaller states. We know what is the meaning of this. Consequently, what will happen to the administration and economic and development implications? So this is the question that is given in the 2011 examination. Now, so I just wanted to give you the knowledge that these type of questions are also coming even in the essay. Tomorrow, when you write the examination, if you get the similar type of question, it should become so easy for you to understand this. That is the reason for today. You just look at the question, but how to write an essay? Let the topic be anything. We need to follow certain fundamental principles. And very soon, I am going to take a special class and a separate class only on the concept of essay writing. And at that time, you can give an attempt to this particular question. Okay, so till that time, start thinking, try to accumulate the information as far as possible. Okay, but with the question number one, whatever I have shown you now, so I want you to write the answer today itself. Okay, I'll stop the session today. Tomorrow morning we'll be meeting at the same time. I wish you all the very, very best, and thank you so much for being with me this morning. I wish you all the very, very best. Have a fantastic day.